Hi guys, how you doing? Long time no see. I am going to be doing a whole slew of tech videos coming up. Most of it actually has something to do with gaming. So for you gamers out there who are PC gamers, you're going to love these two major projects I'm going to be doing. Well, the first one is going to be replacing my $1,000 GTX 690, which has served me very well for the past 2 years. But the problem is the graphics card's video memory has been subpar for gaming today. A lot of games now actually require a card with at least 3 to 4 gigs of video RAM. So this thing only has 2. So I'm going to be upgrading this thing. It's going to be upgraded to a GTX 980 Ti. I'm going with a reference design because I absolutely love the design that's there. But let me cut over to the other clip view and I'm going to show you my new rig case. So before I cut to the case, I actually picked up a brand new monitor. Now my Sony Vaio, which is all the way over there, it's actually right there, has been flaking in and out where it actually just goes black and then comes back on and keeps going in and out, in and out, in and out. So I went ahead and bought a Samsung. This is a Samsung curved curved display. And it's kind of hard to see the curve, but it actually curves. So now that has my Xbox One as well as my gaming rig hooked up to it. One of the worst things about this fucking monitor is the volume controls are absolutely terrible. So I tend to leave it off and I just plug in a fiber optic cable, which is right here, into a Sound Blaster E5 that I picked up. Now on to the computer rig. I tried to get the lighting the best as possible. So this is the new rig, which is a Corsair Air, I think it's a 540, I think it is. Now it's a pretty big case. It's almost double wide, but it has 2 chambers. So it has a rear chamber, which is here, and that has the power supply. It has a few solid state drives, a hard drive, and of course my Blu-ray drive. Then it has the front chamber, which has 2 140mm fans in the front that blow air in. I have my GTX 690, which is going to be replaced. I have my hard drive, so that's the 4TB drive, that's the 2TB drive. I added an additional fan to my water cooler. And yeah, this computer really has not changed all that much. So let me actually take off the side panel real quick. Okay, so now I miss the good old days where the iPhone used to let you turn on and off the light. So let me go do that. Okay, so because Apple doesn't offer the ability to turn on and off the light anymore, fuckers, I had to clip it there. So this is what my rig currently looks like. 2 Noctura fans. This is an H60. I got it a long time ago. Now they've actually changed the design so it doesn't use this type. It actually uses the type that's in my friend's case. So as you can see, I have my 4TB drive here, 2TB drive there, my GTX 690 in all of its glory. Now this card, I really like this card. It's got the 2 plexiglass windows. This is actually the first Nvidia card to have this design, where it has that, GeForce logo that lights up. So you can see the fans here, which are 2 140s. And then in the rear chamber, which is kind of hard to see, there's my power supply and the I/O shield and all that shit. So one thing I love about this case is the cable management is by far better than what I was dealing with my old case. My old case was getting on 5 years old and I figured it was time to replace it. I built it in early 2011. So, yeah, fine, it's not 5 years exactly, but it's pretty damn close. The motherboard and CPU, which is Ivy Bridge, was replaced sometime, I would say, towards the end of 2012. and I replaced it with a Asus P8Z77-V Deluxe, which this fucking motherboard actually goes on eBay quite expensively. But it has like built-in Wi-Fi, built-in Bluetooth, and all that stuff. And it's a really, really good board. And I've been overclocking my CPU a lot lately. I've been getting it to 4.5 gigahertz stable. I know I could probably do more, I just don't know all that much about overclocking. And yeah, I have 24 gigs of RAM, and the only reason why I have that is for virtualization. For gaming, I would say you can live quite comfortably with 8 gigs. I don't really foresee games taking more than that anytime soon. I would say if you're going to build a rig that's a little more future ready, get 16 gigs. The battle between DDR3 and DDR4, which I've seen countless comparisons, there really isn't that big of a difference. It's like a hair faster or slower in some cases. So if you have a DDR3 setup, well, why upgrade? This is the bottleneck currently in my machine, which is a $1,000 graphics card. This is two 680s on a single board, and I've repasted it, you know, to kind of tune her up, and it worked a bit, but it's really starting to show its age. And most games that I play today, like even The Witcher 3 plays pretty well on this card, but the main problem is VRAM. So when I try to play games such as Grand Theft Auto 5, it's really not running optimally anymore. The video RAM is really killing this card. So switching over to a GTX 980 Ti, which has 6 gigs of RAM, that's 3 times more than this, that's going to help me out quite a bit. The other thing is, switching from an SLI card over to a single GPU card is also going to have the benefit of reducing any sort of incompatibilities and quirks that SLI still has today. Yeah, the SLI performance is quite well, but there are times where games aren't fully optimized for SLI profiles. And for a 980 Ti, that's actually getting 50% more performance than this card in SLI. So a single card now, which will be a blower style, so it'll suck the air up here, and it's gonna just blow it out the back. I like that cooler. Now, my friend has an ACX cooler for the GTX 770. Also picked up a Corsair H100 GTX, and that friggin' thing is huge. That thing, you know, we're actually going to be doing the second project, which is where we're going to take the heatsink off of the GTX 770. We're going to be putting on a Corsair, I think it's called the H780. And what it does is it allows you to mount that Corsair pump onto the graphics card. So now we're going to be moving that pump, we're going to be moving the radiator over to the front. We're replacing these with Nocturas. And then we're going to be getting an H75 that's going to be going on the CPU, and that's going to be blowing out the back. So it's going to be doing, it's going to be pulling its air mainly from the top, because there's not going to be any fans, but it's going to be negative pressure. So it's going to be expelling the air out that way, expelling the air out the front, and that's going to cause air to just draft in and then be blown out. As well as there's going to be a blower that's on the card when you put the bracket in. So we're looking forward to doing it, and we're going to be doing major testing on it. So we're going to show the performance before and after this upgrade. And yeah, I'm really getting back into PC, like just in terms of upgrading and stuff. Because, I mean, look, things don't last forever. I hit a point where, you know, my rig was very powerful, but it's really starting to show its age. And I mean, right now, the CPU, memory, and motherboard, that thing is still golden. People still use it in their builds today, and as I said, the slowest performance right now is from this GTX 690. So definitely I'm going to be shooting a lot of videos. I'll show you guys comparisons, because there really isn't that many, there's really not that much information about a person upgrading from a 690 to a 980 Ti. So this will help any of you guys who are still holding on to this card and you want to know, hey, should I upgrade? And I think I will be able to answer that thing for you, because I had that very same question. For me, I always intended on someday replacing this 690, but I wanted to replace it with a single GPU card that was marginally better. Something that wasn't equivalent, so I didn't want a side grade, I wanted an upgrade. And it looks like the first card that's capable of doing it without leaving another $1,000 dent in my wallet is a GTX 980 Ti. Yeah, of course I could have gotten a Titan X, but honestly the performance numbers are very similar. The reason why I bought this card versus the Titan, because I had that choice, was that this card was anywhere from 10 to 15 frames per second faster in all of the games that were out at the time. And that's because the games weren't really pushing the video RAM all that much, so this card was smoking the Titan. And nowadays, the Titan actually gets more performance in some games due to having 6 gigs of video RAM. So yeah, that's my video. Let me know, guys, what you want to see next. Also, with that card that I get, I will be getting Metal Gear Solid 5, so expect some streaming. I do a lot of streaming on Twitch, as well as I'll be probably making a video review of it. I'm going to really try, going forward, I'm really going to try boosting my channel a bit, because I really think that you guys want to see some more gaming videos, so that's what I'm here to do.